Captain Marcus McCunwell and crew, capered privateers of the Royal Crown, also known on the high seas as Captain Anarchy. You and your crew stand accused of treason on the high seas against the American colonies. How do you plead for you and your crew, sir? Guilty as charged.
Welcome to the third installment of LA's infamous Captain Anarchy's Hollywood Memoirs. The Renaissance Pleasure Fair in Irwindale, Opening Day and Steampunk Day reviews. Lords and ladies, knights and peasants, jesters and giants, pirates, highwaymen, steampunks, goblins and elves, and a satyr. Oh my! That's right. All sorts flock in droves to the grand opening day of the Renaissance Pleasure Fair. But on his way, the captain didst happen across a witch who cast a spell upon him, transforming him into a satyr of lore. Oh no!
But no worries, because plenty of ale, mead, and darkened rum later, I didn't care anyway. And on this fine spring day, I didst find myself in the company of Milady Victoria Tiger Lily, and there we didst adventure with me bestest mate Eric the Musketeer, and his lady Red Queen of Scots, with whom I also indulged in the fine period foods of the Shire, witnessed brutal joustings and duels, and saw many fine goods for sale and more. And once transformed back into myself, I didst return with Lady Victoria Tiger Lily in me full armor for yon steampunk day as well, where we reveled with many enthusiastic airship corsairs like ourselves, caught a very risque, unplugged set by pirate rockers the dread crew of Oddwood, and capped off yet another very magical fair season. Hip hip huzzah!
And now, moving to the Sunset Strip. Lizzy Borden at the Whisky A Go-Go and Heaven Below at the Viper Room. A twofer.
Actually, it was the other way around. After some brief lot lizard action in the super sneaky free parking lot with the Lady Victoria and the glam metal punk super heroines Penelope Pink and Metal Babe, we made our way into the Viper Room to catch the last half of an action-packed set by Heaven Below. This LA-based power trio played some powerfully rockin' original songs in the vein of, say, prime-era Guns N' Roses, and ended superbly with some excellent renditions of Pat Benatar's Heartbreaker and Motorhead's Ace of Spades. So I definitely recommend you check them out. Then, after another brief stop to chug a few more rounds out of the trunk, we made it to the Whisky to witness the heavy metal assault of Lizzy Borden upon Hollywood in his long-awaited triumphant return to the Sunset Strip. And he did so most magnificently as well, taking the stage in silvery-toned and blackened orc-like armor with a tattered red Romanesque cape, and of course splattered in blood. And though he may not have employed quite as many of his usual props on this night, he and his murderous metal band nonetheless gave the crowd the yaps, with a perfectly executed 19-song set that included the very best of his arsenal to date.
And now for a review of Queensryche at the Canyon Club in Calabassas.
For those of you whom have not been out to the Canyon Club yet, let me just tell you that it is a very nice, well-decorated, and well-kept, large venue that has the wooden, rustic feel of a classic 80s rock club, much like a nicer, larger, higher-ceilinged version of, say, the FM station back in its heyday, for instance. And this upscale club also has a large stage with excellent sound and lighting, a large dance floor, and table seating with a grand kitchen menu as well, and a giant throne. Hence the few times that I've ventured out here have been totally worth it, as anywhere in the house is like being within the first 20 rows of an arena while watching what is often a very major act. And on this night, indeed it was, as we were treated to a very rare performance by Queensryche of the technical metal masterpiece and hit record, Operation Mindcrime. Some complain that there are now two versions of the band. Let me just tell you that Jeff Tate, along with Rudy and Robert Sarzo, Simon Wright, Randy Gain, and Kelly Gray, played the album flawlessly. And this lineup is a must-see. Since we're on the subject of the Canyon Club, I'm going to skip around the order that my reviews appeared in the actual print version of my column and just go ahead and talk about another show that I saw at the Canyon Club recently, which was the Psychedelic Furs. As I said before, this venue is a nice upscale club with great decor and sound, and anywhere inside is like being in the first 20 rows of an arena to see what are usually major acts, and for a lot less money too. But I'd also like to mention it's much more laid back as well as a lot closer to central LA than its similar counterparts behind the cop-ridden orange curtain, thus making it that much more worth the drive. Hence we return to the Psychedelic Furs, whom wooed a capacity crowd with their plethora of dark-edged new wave, new romantic type major radio hits and equally impressive B-side material as well. And having grown up in the 80s, this was like revisiting the soundtrack of our youth. This show was killer, and if you ever get a chance to see the Psychedelic Furs here or anywhere else, you should definitely check them out.
Now, as far as the live reviews go, last but not least, Fear performing Fear the Record, and The Shrine appearing at the El Rey Theater.
Though I've got to make it brief, unfortunately, at least thanks to Golden Voice, I have to report this. The Shrine opened up, and though not quite the perfect fit for the bill, they still rock the illustrious El Rey in all of its magnificent mid-Wilshire 1930s type glory with their brand of stoner garage rock, much along the lines of the old 80s band of a similar genre known as St. Vitus. So they lended an acceptable SST Records type of vibe to the night, I suppose. No, the only original member left in Fear is frontman Lizzy. His backing band of the last several years did a great job, as did he, knocking out all of the songs off their debut hit record and then some. And though he being maybe getting pretty venerable, his voice sounded just as good as ever. Crowd went totally nuts, complete with a relentless slam pit the whole time. So this was an awesome show, and thanks again to Golden Voice. Enough said. This is Captain Anarchy signing out. Be sure to check out my new blog at www.therealcaptainanarchy.tumblr.com, where you can read my reviews and view even more photos for many of the shows I review. That is, the ones that we didn't have room to print in the actual magazine, as well as live videos by Greg Burial too, and as well as these animated webisodes, past, present, and future. Or you can check out more live videos on Greg Burial's site at www.youtube.com/Mr. Handjob. Thanks for tuning into my webisodes this season. We'll see you next season for my new columns reviews. See ya!
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe or I will scratch your eyeballs out.